Hello everybody. Bit of a special video today. So, remember way back in early autumn we planted some carrots in pots in the greenhouse, and on the same day I put some out in the raised beds out in the open. And we grew those on right through winter because it was a bit of an experiment to see if we could grow stuff in the greenhouse over winter. Well, today is the big reveal. Okay then, so here's the thing with today's video. You are about to see a massive gardening fail. Not because it didn't work, but it's because of me. So what you're about to see is a gardener fail. But I thought it was really important to make that the point of this video because I see loads of folk online just now getting all down about their gardens and their gardening. And mostly it's because you're seeing other people online posting pretty pictures of their perfect allotments and their perfect gardens and them all looking beautiful and perfect while they garden. So we're going to have a bit of a real life video today because do you know what? We all screw up. We all fail. All of us have massive gardening faux pas, and it's okay. It's normal. It's perfectly okay because every failure is a chance to learn. So today I'm going to tell you about where I went wrong. What I did wrong that caused what had been an awesome crop of carrots that were doing really well to not quite go as planned. So take today's video in the spirit that I'm giving it, and it is okay to not match up to Instagram because you know what? Instagram isn't reality. So let's go look at my rubbish carrots. Okay, let's be really honest here. This is my fault. You guys have seen me checking in on the carrots in the pots and in the bed, and I've been so happy. Everything has been going so well. But there's no excuses. I just got lazy. I just couldn't be bothered. I just wasn't watering things properly. And so the carrots were under stress. And they've bolted because that's what your plants do when they're under stress. They desperately try and go to seed. So let me show you some of the issues. Do you think there's going to be something here for you to eat? Do you? It's carrots, sweetheart. You don't like carrots. Yeah, the hinges are back. So let's start here. These are the two pots of carrots that were grown in the greenhouse. They were actually looking really, really good. I was really quite chuffed. But as you can see, I've got quite a bit of dieback of the leaves and stuff. Because, to be quite honest, they got really, really dry. And then I would water them, then I'd forget for ages, then I'd water them, and just bad carrot mummy, basically. But what we're going to do is, we're just going to go for it. We're going to empty these out and we're going to have a look and see what's there. Now, I've got a few things in my mind that I think's going to be something interesting. One of which, when we were sowing and planting up, I was talking to you guys about the whole thing with carrots being funny shapes. Well, we did lots of stuff then talking about the soil and how to keep it super fine so that helps with the carrots to keep them nice and straight. But I did notice when I started thinning, because I had sown lots and you have to thin carrots, I noticed a couple of times I was pulling and it was pulling the other ones out, so I suspect we're going to have quite a few wonkies in here. not overly wonky. Teeny tiny. They're actually way less wonky than I was expecting. You can see a few bits where they've got kinked, but on the whole, they're actually not bad. So that was the carrots. They came from the little seedlings that I'd had in the root trainer, and I potted them up in the greenhouse when they were still just tiny seedlings. Now here's the big thing. These are the little carrots that were in the container in the greenhouse. From the same batch of seedlings I sowed out here. So these are the exact same batch of seedlings. These guys came on much, much slower than the greenhouse, but in the last 3 weeks, you can see they've gone crazy. And like I say, they're bolting. That's why they've got so big. So I'm pretty much expecting under this ground to be nothing worth getting excited about, because all the energy has gone into these massive thick stems and leaves, which is really disappointing because they were doing so well. And like I say, total laziness on my part. I stopped watering and looking after them, and sometimes it happens, guys. You guys see me being all cheery and all garden Eli, but you know, I'm human. I get the same bad days as you guys sometimes, or it was a bad couple of weeks. So I'm going to cut all this back, and I think I'm going to have to re-sow some carrot seeds, but hey, it's not the end of the world, because it means we get to have fun here. So let's see. So the first thing you might notice is when you can actually see the carrots, there's not an awful lot of carrots for the amount of foliage there was. And look at how thick it all is. Carrot tops should be little leaves like this. Longer when the carrots are ready to harvest, but thin little stemmed leaves like this. This is how I know that they've stressed and bolted and they're not happy. Okay, are you ready? Yeah, so really stumpy, really pale, and solid. Like solid like stone. Yeah. So I don't need to pull all of these out for you guys to get the picture. But yeah, there is nothing here that's for eating. So I know right now everybody's like, oh, that's terrible, and everyone's feeling bad and stuff, but actually don't, okay? Crop fails happen to all of us. What we do in our garden influences how successful we are. Sometimes nothing we do can make a difference, and it's just the weather and stuff that influences things. It happens, it's part of gardening, and you kind of have to learn to embrace that as much as the excitement and enjoyment of getting a really good crop to go and cook with or whatever. From this, take away an opportunity to learn. I didn't keep things watered properly. I didn't keep on top of things. And that's why the plants got stressed. And if they're stressed, they bolt, they go to seed. Happens with all of your plants. So if you're worried about things bolting, it's probably they're not getting enough water, it's too hot for them, things like that. Because anything that means that plant worries that it's not going to survive will make that plant try and put out seeds so that it can make a next generation. It's just the way things are. At least now, all this little tiny beetroot will get some light because it wasn't getting any light before. I hope from this you guys see that all gardeners are the same. We all have failures, we all have successes. Just because somebody's on the internet doesn't make them some sort of gardening god, okay? So please remember that. We are all the same. We all have different amounts of experience. That means we've all experienced different amounts of fails. And that's what I want you to take out of today's video. It's okay, the world's not going to end.